And we're back with the grand finals. Langley-Eustis ready to take on Cannon Air Force Base. Red card hardpoint ready to go. My name is Seymour. With me is Infinity. We are locked in for a double best of 5. It's Cannon who needs to start off strong.
All right, Cannon. They need to carry the momentum from that last series. A small reset might have slowed things down ever so slightly for a Cannon, and Langley-Eustis now looking to start just as strong. We look at Cannon. They are currently in control of the PT rotation, but they're losing the gunfights. They're getting overwhelmed. Tantalus have really shut down. Yodak survives, and he's still alive, by the way. Yodak finds 2 in the point. That is a huge clutch from Yodak.
Oh, it's a major play for Cannon, too. They have to worry about Tantalize, who's looking to set up on the flank. Argo has no idea, and thus, a pinch is born. So you try to dig yourself out right now if you're Cannon, and the kills just do not go your way. Langley-Eustis fighting their way back for a moment. That moment is stolen. 30 seconds, and it is all over the place.
So looking towards a point. Tantalize is going to get shut down now. Backspawn still here for Langley-Eustis. They are in a solid position right now. They just have to break through. Reaper finds that kill against Yodak. That makes things a little bit more palatable here. 10 seconds left. Argo's here. He thinks, well, I might as well go for it, and actually wins the gunfight. So that's going to turn the attention of a couple of players here on the rotation. Reaper will deal with Argo. Alleviates a little bit of pressure here for those rotation.
I don't know how I feel about this one. You're going to have all 4 players now for Cannon set up in towards the point. Hate on the stairwell. Going to be the first contact for that moment, but it doesn't matter who's the first contact. He's now the only one alive as they know exactly where he is. And it's Langley-Eustis in the spawn trap territory.
Eustis now, good opportunity here to push Cannon all the way back. They'll continue to spawn at the back through the point. Yodak just runs straight through, puts some team shots into another player that, well, I think Wolf should be dealt with pretty quickly here, and he will be. So yeah, Yodak with the team shots there. Hate will find a double, and Argo will finish off what Yodak couldn't. So all of a sudden, Cannon
flipped out, and Cannon can really put the hurt down on Langley-Eustis with this setup. As they put the shoe on the other foot to see if Langley-Eustis can break this spawn trap. Wolf going to do his best. First kill, he slides to cover, and the backup for Tantalize should be able to get some momentum outside of this hill. It is a 10-point game for Cannon with the full setup over towards P4, and I like this call from Artie. No one's going to read it.
Yep, Artie just has to play trigger discipline. No, he doesn't. Just immediately shoots. Never mind, he catches a couple of players regardless of what happens here. Tantalize down as well. Artie finds every single one. A full sweep, but now Langley spawn closer to the hard point from the other side.
Cannon's lead's growing. Da Vinci, good shots onto Artie, but the job's not done there. You can see the approach from the right side of the mini-map as a couple of Langley-Eustis members want to get the break in for the last 30 seconds of this. Reaper's going to tuck himself underneath the stage, and that kill feed lighting up blue. It's a wave of Langley-Eustis to set up to see if they can swing things back their way now. Da Vinci up top in the power position for the hedges. Artie doesn't care. He flies at him. 12 seconds is what you're looking to take away. 12 seconds is what you get. It's a race over towards P5. Yodak looking to cut off the rotation. Such a good call.
Da Vinci needs to try and play this if he can. He is going to survive a little bit longer, so that'll make things somewhat easier here for Langley-Eustis on the break. Reaper still potentially through for a flanking play as well. Well, they can read it. Different story. Tantalize, good for the first. Good for a second is Tantalize, and Reaper also going to catch Argo on the rotation. So Langley-Eustis now, they break in. That looked like a solid rotation for Cannon, but it's broken in front of them.
Easy as pie, Argo says. I was going to say maybe it was Langley-Eustis who were on that foot, but still one to worry about. Reaper trying to stay alive with 5 HP. Artie not going to let him escape. This lead stays for Cannon. Langley-Eustis, they want to hit through this. A couple players with the ARs in hand on the approach to see if they can get it done for one more break. A good nade from Hate is going to shut things down. And with player number 6, Wolf, the only one back at this hill, Cannon should feel comfortable about this rotation to new. But instead, Reaper on the long route, he's trying to make a play. Unfortunately, it blows up before his eyes, and Langley-Eustis are worse for it.
All right, now it feels like the best lead that we've had for either of these two teams so far as we hit back towards P1. It's Cannon with a 50-point advantage or so. But as we've seen today, Seymour, I don't think that really means anything, if we're being perfectly honest. There's been many a 50-point advantage that has completely blown up in front of the winning team's face. So Cannon need to work to ensure that doesn't happen again. RT on 5 in a row is cut down off the back of that streak. Cannon now back towards the point. It's 35 seconds. This is worth fighting for, Seymour.
For sure. I mean, even if you get this P1 time for Langley-Eustis, I mean, you bring this one back 30 points now. That's knocking on the door of this lead that Cannon does have. You hold the rotations over towards new P2. Yeah, you can soak up a lot of time. The big issue is you've given up streaks to Artie. He's 15-9. He's got the Hellstorm, and Cannon don't need to rotate to a hill like P2. They can use that to break.
Langley-Eustis currently down by 40 points or so. Cannon still have players over there, as you said. They can break. Argo winning fights in the middle of the map here. One player who still hasn't dealt with the threat inside the hard point. Yodak gonna look from up top. He gets immediately beamed. Wolf now using the, I was gonna say, the safety of the goalpost, but he just slides out and gets a freebie.
But here's the Hellstorm. Artie brings it right through the window. The skylights are gonna bring down the heavens onto Langley-Eustis and put some pressure on towards the setup that Langley-Eustis are actually still getting a good chunk of time on. Reaper and Wolf with some major wins inside the hard point. Just a couple more and Langley can get some more time off this P2 rotation. Argo off the back spawns. He's going to punish Da Vinci, and you look to those blue arrows to start rotating. Tantalize already on the case. I think, Brody, you might be muted for me.
The spawn out is there for Tantalize. And, well, it doesn't really matter too much. JB Langley work off the back of that. Yeah, Tantalize just goes a little bit earlier than I actually expected, Seymour.
Yeah, I think it was very, very early for Langley-Eustis. It doesn't really pay off, and you have to be careful not to be put in the blender. You, fortunately, are going to spawn up over towards hedges for a couple of these members, but it's really up to Wolf to try to set up a pinch. Reaper up top. He's going to draw first blood. Yodak outside gets blinded, and that's 3 down. Already the only one here. Langley-Eustis are in. Spawns are going to flip. It is just a 30-point lead.
You can hold this from the front. 20 seconds worth going for if you're Langley-Eustis, and they are definitely going to go for it. Oh, Yodak gets turned on. Nicely done from Wolf. Down away at HP. Feels hungry for the next fight, and that's what a Wolf does, I guess. To the pistol he goes to finish off that gunfight. You might well lose Tantalize. It doesn't matter that much. And with that scrap time, Langley-Eustis now not that far behind. Wolf gets cut down and then transition, and that's pretty good, I guess, for Cannon. But you've got one player now trying to hit the longest of flanks here. Yodak has to find some value in this.
Well, see if Yodak can get it done. Argo going to look to provide a little bit of support. Hate, unfortunately, he's not going to make anything out of the flank alongside Yodak, but I was going to say it was Yodak who's trying to make the secondary hit. He's going to be found out, and again, the kill feed, just like last time we go to P4, Brody, Langley-Eustis are on top of it all. 4 go down now that Yodak is cleared, and they have completely flipped this game around.
Yeah, the problem is now 20 seconds as well. You really can't afford to give this time up at this stage of the game, so they're going to full kit it. 3 down. Tantalize holding it. How much longer can he hold? Tantalize takes 2 down. Oh my god, he almost got the 3rd, but he burns 10 seconds there that Cannon otherwise would have gotten. So the lead will maintain itself at about 15 or so. Going to the next hard point, Langley-Eustis first to touch.
Langley-Eustis inside the hard point yet again for the initial rotation. You had to imagine that they'd wake up at some point, Brody. There's no way that Canada were just going to slave their way through this game, especially when Red Card is so known for its high kill engagement games. You go towards this P5. Now it's Cannon who need a break. Yodak looking to deliver some big moments for the team. As a new kid on the block, he's going to find a couple kills, play his life, wait for the respawns, and they're here.
Here we go. Hate for a couple of kills. He goes down. Traded. Tantalize inside the hard point. Lovely Semtex for the first kill. Tips up in the second with the AR. Argo trying to hold these players off. You've also got players now on the other side for a Cannon off the spawn. But Langley-Eustis winning all these fights. They can't finish here regardless. And Cannon, just give this up. Just make sure you're ready for the next hill.
Let's get it done. Here and now. Only 10 more seconds. You're not going to win it at P5. Cannon going to steal away a couple more seconds off that scrap time. And now they need to break immediately, down 187 to 243. This is dire for Cannon.
7 seconds away from victory. Clear out hedges. All is well here for the moment. Players on both sides of the hard point to worry about. It's all down to Yodak. The rest of your team is gone. Yodak will find one. You've got to get to the point. It's not happening. Langley-Eustis, they seem to have got it locked in. Cannon can't touch. And it is that penultimate hard point that does it. Screaming across the stage. It is going to be Cannon who lose map number 1.
And this whole game comes down to Cannon show up in the slaying. You know that Langley-Eustis are going to bring the heat, and they are letting them know. So smiles from their side. You can see them getting loud, sharing a few things that probably can't be shared on broadcast. But for this matchup, what a turnaround for Langley-Eustis. I mean, you come into this one, you looked like you were struggling at just holding a hill in general, but if you go to this grand final, you get that win under your belt versus Buckley. This is going to be a new look in the search, and I'm excited to see what Cannon can put together as they started the attack.
All right, Cannon. They don't have anybody to deal with off the rip here towards Elephant. That is abnormal, I think, for a team on defense, and it's going to throw Cannon off ever so slightly. It does allow them in towards the site, though. Beautiful team shots on towards the second player, and all of a sudden now down to a 2 versus 3 for Langley on the retake.
Yes, it is. Here we go. 2 versus 3. Joint base Langley-Eustis looking to see if they can get this retake done in the lesser, and they've decided to split up on both sides. Artie's going to get the eyes on. And that's going to be the first one down. 3v1 for Tantalize. He still hasn't made a move towards the bomb site. 23 seconds as he gets the kills. Yodak looking to trade it out. Good damage. Puts it away for Cannon to strike first.
Yeah, and that difference in that round again was the fact that generally speaking, teams on the defense, they do push as far up as possible. That's what's gone successfully before in the past for a Cannon. So Cannon, again, just the fact that they're able to get mid-control almost off the rip, that's something that Langley are going to want to change as we move forward in this S&D.
Oh, on. So, Langley-Eustis, I mean, you had the 2 versus 3. I didn't hate the way that they split up Brody. Trying to play that on 2 different sides, catch some timing onto some players. It's a difficult thing to come back from, especially retaking that A site early without utility, but it's their turn now in the hot seat on the attacking side. Going into A, Hate draws first blood, tries to get away, Reaper trades it.
In that presence, it's beautiful for Cannon. 3 versus 3. Oh my god, Reaper just took a smack to the face from the butt of Artie's gun. And now, Wolf and Da Vinci here in the 2 versus 3. Cannon are being incredibly aggressive for a team that is playing defense. Like, if you were to cover up defense and offense, you would be totally forgiven for thinking that Cannon is definitely the offensive team at this point in time. Langley won't know about it, and now that they do, Wolf's seen them across the map, they're going to fly to that B site.
Well, try again. It's just, this bomb needs to make some progress towards the site. Artie's going to be here. He's all the way in the back. Should be spotted by Da Vinci, who more than likely is going to try to approach this one. He knows he's got Artie pinned behind that box. See if he can get this kill alongside Wolf. They need to clear this one. They need to get rid of Artie, and they're going to check it. 2 versus 2, but now they've wasted too much time. Cannon are going to be here. Argo over the wall, stops the plant. 10 seconds left. Wolf, he needs to chase.
Yeah, and he doesn't even get the fight. What is that? That is insane from Cannon. Yeah, just a little bit too long to get that bomb down. I was going to say, I mean, Cannon, you know, doing the route that they did is wild, but they hold one player back just in case that Langley-Eustis do try and transition in towards the B site. That player, of course, alerts them that, hey, this is what's happening. Langley-Eustis then don't have the time to actually get the rock down. Just a beautiful round on the whole from Cannon. It was uncanny, shall we say. It was a bit unusual, but you know what? I love unusual strats. It works out.
It works out twice in a row for Cannon. Good timing there for Argo. Good reactions, and Artie draws it all out. Back onto the attack for Cannon. Hitting towards Elephant. The Sun's going to give it away. Has to back down from the nade, and they have evacuated the building. It looks like it's going to be a pivot to B. Tantalize is here.
Oh, you need that kill. Hate going to go down instead. Now Cannon have a man down. Da Vinci's going to get traded out, though, and that's now mid-map presence. That's what Cannon really badly wanted. Immediate reaction from Langley-Eustis, or more specifically as Wolf, to try and go for the middle of the map. He could still shock them.
I thought they were
I
gonna
don't
push that
think
over
they're
towards
watching
B.
this. Wolf will
Nobody's
go
gonna
for the
watch
kill,
it.
and he will.
Wolf backs on down. 1 versus 2. It's all down to Tantalize. He's making the full wrap.
Has to check so many different corners and crevices. Should have just spotted out one onto the bomb site. Might not necessarily know another is tucked up into that corner, and he's still putting safety first.
The Stars get out of line for this one, but he's not going to check the corner, and that's going to be his undoing, Brody. What a play from Cannon just to sit and wait together in that moment. It comes down so far into the round. Langley-Eustis just cannot get anything going in these moments. So many individual plays on the retake. Every single time that we see them in this moment, Brody, I want to give them a chance, but they're just not even playing off of each other. It's almost like they're not even talking to each other.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't think Langley are playing that badly, right? I think there are certainly flaws in the gameplay, maybe. I want to give credit to Cannon the way that they're playing. Maybe that round number 2, right, where they recognize that Cannon on the flank and weren't quick enough to react. Maybe that one I can criticize them for. But that round in particular, I think just Cannon doing a sensational job at actually poking holes in the Langley defense. Cannon now back on the defense. Oh my god. Reaper has been ripped a new one. Hate responsible for that gunfight. Langley now a man down, and they have 0 map presence whatsoever.
Zilch. So Langley, they have to fight their way through this.
Oh, he's been spotted.
This is going to be a tough one for Wolf. Another solo play that gets caught out. 4 versus 2. Nothing going your way. No timings, no gunfights. Cannon are impenetrable at this point, and Argo's going to pack down another player. Da Vinci has to stay alive, and they are separated yet again, Brody.
Oh.
Da Vinci, he gets his, but you lose Tantalize. It's a 1 versus 3. Would have to be a 1v4 clutch for Da Vinci.
More or less, yeah. Time not on his side as well. Both bomb sites being watched. As soon as he hits either of these 2 sites, the rest of the players will collapse. As soon as he opens this door, he should get to rights. Yep, Yodak. Oh, actually gets that gunfight, but yep, that's what I said. As soon as you take one player down, it does not matter. The teamwork from Cannon, impeccable. They are just so much better right now at taking space through the middle of the map.
Yeah, and it's beautiful to watch. I think for Cannon, we talked about how good this team was in Search and Destroy. You beg the question, if Cannon are that good at Search and Destroy and Langley beat them the way that they did, then how good is Langley-Eustis? Well, this just shows that series in the winners final. And we're back with the Search and Destroy getting right into the mix. Joint base Langley-Eustis, it looks like they have shaken off the rust, Brody, as they are going to kick off this first round with 3 immediate kills.
And worth saying, at least from what we initially saw there, I don't think that was the adaptation of sending a player towards Elephant that changed that. That was just simply Reaper winning the first 2 initial bloods. You take out your teammate, but you know what? It's a worthy sacrifice for the final nade. Yeah, the difference there ultimately is just they recognize that, hey, Cannon are constantly sending people through the electrical cut, so let's just pre-aim that with a couple of players. And you didn't even really need a couple of players because Reaper was the one to get both of those kills.
Yeah, it was a pretty good change, I'd say, for Langley-Eustis. I mean, pretty sure it was Revenge himself that, was talking about, if you shoot your gun, it does end up making things a little bit easier. And Reaper there, those 3 kills are surely going to ignite some passion for the team to come back into it. Now we're looking to see if those adaptations do change for the space, and it looks like it is going to be Da Vinci to try to open things up over towards the Elephant. They're looking for the A site. Wolf is going to draw that first blood, but Da Vinci, they know he's here. That's bomb down.
Oh, Yodak. Oh, wait, what? Yodak? Oh my god, Yodak is a maniac. Hey, our team takes Reaper out of the play. Now Wolf reveals his position as well. Don't chase this kill. You're on defense. You do not need to do this. All you got to do is just pre-aim. Bro, I got to know what Yodak's on. This guy is moving.
He is moving. And grooving. I mean, if there's anybody else you'd want in a 2 versus 1 to clutch up right now, it is going to be Wolf. He's on 3 in a row as well, so let's see if he can push this streak to anything more. I like this call. 30 seconds. He's got to do it fast, but he looks like he's going to try to flip things around and see if he can shoot somebody in the back, which they're not going to set up to let you do.
Oh my god, Argo looks away at the wrong time. That's okay though, because he gets away. 14 seconds left. All they need to do is just not throw Argo should have him dead to rights anyway. There we go. Kill looking pretty good. And Cannon continue to do what's worked for them the entire time, Seymour, which is just make sure that they have control of mid-map.
Well, and that's going to bring Cannon up to a 5-1 standing against Langley-Eustis in this search and destroy, Brody. So 1 round away from tying us up in this first best of 5. Exactly what Cannon came here to do in the search and destroy. Do what you do best. And it's already Argo, Yodak, all getting a piece of that round. Last time on your attack, it was a fast hit through closet. That got caught by Reaper. Where did they take the bomb? It looks like it was looking like a fast hit towards B. And yeah, this bomb's going all the way to the B site.
Finally, different play call from Cannon. Last time it didn't work out. They're still putting a little bit of presence through the middle of the map, but losing Hate is going to make things awkward. Problem is, though, you've only got one player who's actually made it to said B site. So if he goes down, that's going to make things awkward. And that's exactly what happens. Yodak is desperately trying to salvage the round. Good for the first. Oh, not good for the second. Couldn't transition fast enough. And yeah, that's the problem. It's all well and good trying something different, but you got to do it as a team.
Yeah, you have to do it together. And for Langley-Eustis, at least they've done this justice in terms of trying to claw things back, get some kills, get some rounds under your belt, and they've stopped now 2 successful defenses. After the reset did happen, Wolf and Reaper are having themselves a game now, starting to heat up in this search and destroy. The only issue is you have to do this on an attacking round, and that's what has been the bane of their existence in the search and destroy. So do they get a B hit this time? Are they going to take a shot at the B site? It looks like they will, but there's going to be an aggression.
RT is very pushed up. Oh, Yodak's going to be the one to kick this one off. It's over. Tantalize 1 versus 4. That is not happening. Now you've got something to scream and shout about, Cannon. You get it done. 6-2.
They should be a little bit tentative going into this one, a little bit worried off this break off. So let's see if they can bring the heat. Let's see if they can bring the thunder towards Langley-Eustis. And you can already see Artie's going to open up with a kill, but it's going to be the only kill so far that you find. Argo, he will have an answer, but I don't think he's going to be able to turn it into anything.
Langley-Eustis holding for a moment here. Argo actually following up more, so they're almost immediately going to transition in towards potential B here. Argo just trying to take away some attention. It's only going to be one player, though. I like that Langley-Eustis aren't fully biting on towards this one just yet, but Argo's actually going to find a kill, and that should be the first tick through here as long as he can survive a little bit more. Yes, it is. Argo's still finding value. He's done this before. I distinctly remember this. Cannon send Argo towards B, and then the rest of the squad finish what he cannot. This is going to be a full B capture.
B goes down. Cannon looking to show a different face now in this vault control, as even a couple players are going to scatter. Underneath, Wolf, Argo is going to get taken care of, and Height not able to hold his presence over towards P4. Good set of kills from Langley-Eustis to break out, but a minute 48 to capture this A zone. You're on top of the world. You're feeling great right now.
Yeah, by the way, I just checked my notes. It was a Cannon versus Offit where Argo made that exact same play in a round 2 offense. It looks like Cannon are doing the same thing again. Argo is just that guy, and RT now on the point starting to really heat up in this game. Cannon, second tick through. Somebody from Langley to stop this. I don't know if you've got time for this. Yeah, I was going to say, you cannot afford to flank. And even that little bit of hesitation, stopped them from defending the point.
What the heck just happened, Brody?
Argo happened.
What the heck just happened? Yeah, Argo, I literally said to him, he gets the 1 kill over towards Catwalk, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to put anything together. Then bam, he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, let me just go capture B, and then let's go capture A, like it's a walk in the park. I mean, that was fine and dandy for Cannon. So going on to this defensive side, yeah, this is a situation where Cannon are going to be feeling good about this series. They flip things out, and they're going on to this defense as high as a kite to see if they can to figure out how to break through this next map.
All right, Langley-Eustis, you've just got to have as good of a round. Although I think that might be impossible given how amazing that round was from Cannon. We'll fire back here. Langley-Eustis winning the majority of the gunfights off the rip here. Yodak, well, he's going to get shut down. So now Langley-Eustis jumping on the point almost immediately. It's nothing as flashy as sending towards B, but at the very least they've got players in power positions to make sure that A is covered. There's one flanking player.
Oh, Hate, nice slide out. Double kill from Cannon. They should be able to stop this. A capture. Hate takes a little bit, but he gets it done. Third segment's going to get depleted. And look how fast that Yodak is going to actually re-wrap around on this flank. He's chasing shadows for the moment, but he is going to spot some information on where these players are going. Eventually, the flank's going to work. Yodak finds his kill, turns things around. Reaper gets bent down again, and Yodak is just tracing them.
Reaper gets what? Hit that again? Or whatever. Anyway, Cannon destroying them. Yodak continuing. Finally shut down by Da Vinci, but the trades are insatiable. RT now picking up exactly where Yodak left off. Oh my god. This is despicable. Finally, Reaper shuts down all the hootenanny, and they can now walk straight towards the point. Argo shut down and lights will take one with him, and that should be the A capture as long as there is a double stack. Yeah, Wolf is going to jump on the point now. Can they stop it? Hate going to try. Okay, right. A little bit of team kill coming through. Reaper for the shutdown. That is finally A gone. And you also take players out of the pinch as well. That was a little bit too enthusiastic from Cannon because they don't have the map control to defend B.
They do not at all. And Reaper, he has come for vengeance now. 4 in a row. Da Vinci's going to hop over towards this B zone. A little bit of positioning for Canada to see if they can work their way out, and looks like they're managing to at least fight back. First segment still getting worked on, almost going to be captured, and Wolf taking down Argo is going to set up a double setup onto this point. Tantalizes here too. The connection does arrive for Artie's grenade. That's going to get Hate here to deplete the second segment. But now you look with a minute left at the lives. 9 versus 7. Canada 2-life lead. They don't want to give this round up with this advantage.
I think you just need to play positioning here. I will say Cannon have 0 presence on B. Like, almost nothing. Hate is the only thing that they've got in close proximity here. And he does not know that somebody has flown by him. He's being cautious of it. Tantalize could well catch him by surprise. He is definitely the wild card in this play. The Joker in the pack, the ace in the hole, but he is removed from the deck. And all of a sudden, how Langley-Eustis, I think they're relying on Tantalize doing something. He comes up with nothing, and this round starts to look a little bit shallow.
4 lives left. No respawns. Yodak's gonna get the first information. Just gives it away. As you know, lives are going to be so important. Yodak's going to reposition, and he could be the dagger now. Player watching over him. That's going to be Hate. He will spot the rotation over towards P4. At least he should spot this player. No, Da Vinci, he's got a timing here all the way underneath the balconies. Nobody's going to see it, but a 2 versus 8, that's just impossible, Brody. Yodak, he ends up going down. There's just no time to get anything else going. Cannon with a successful shutdown of the B zone.
Yeah, the transition is just not as good as Cannon's, is it? I mean, to be fair, Cannon is like the gold standard of transitions, right? From point to point, and they had Argo to do it. Langley-Eustis don't have an Argo, and they also have to deal with plays like this. But fair play to Langley-Eustis. They make it somewhat close there in that round. They definitely try to get control of the B zone. They just can't get players forward enough to do it. If Tantalize had found some value, perhaps, down low in Art, maybe that would have been their round, but they could not get it done. So Cannon 2-0 up, 5 in a row for RT off the rip here, and they were very fast to collapse on towards A and B in the last round. Let's see if they can meet the same pace again.
Let's see it. Cannon for the opening push over towards Pool. Reaper, he's going to hit the deck. Not going to matter. 2 down off the break, and Cannon are looking to at least collapse over towards A to see if they can punish this one. Tantalize his flank. It has to be everything right now, but Yodak puts him in the dirt. The setup is there.
And you're not going to transition to B this time. Is anybody watching wood? I think Yodak might be keeping an eye on that point of entry. Also watching down low. Wolf's going to try it right into Yodak. Should be dead to right. Exactly. Point of entry is being watched, but Da Vinci and Reaper will combine for 3.
Artie.
Reaper gets shut down. Nice from Artie. One more player, not going to happen. So Tantalize clears the point. Doesn't actually stop the progress, though. Instead is now moving up towards lights to try and find some more value. Only a couple of bullets in towards Argo. Da Vinci should be good to knock down that player, but that double kill should be good here towards the point.
What?
Oh, no, Da Vinci. You just got put in the baby steps.
I mean, yeah, 4 down again. Hate's going to be solo capturing this A zone until his teammate does end up getting there. Argo's watching over him. Now with that A zone's captured, they're going to rush over towards B. Kill after kill. Cannon fire is heard everywhere. And the spaghetti is what's on the ground. Joint base Langley. They're reeling to get back towards the zone. The double stack's going to give them another chance for the contest, but no kill is going their way. Da Vinci to try it. He's through. A team kill. Argo, can you stay alive? No! Da Vinci, he's here!
Not done. He's not done. He's got to get one more player. Heat on a 5 in a row, and he could still close this one out. Wolf has the full sprint towards the point. The contest on the other side of the car.
No way.
Hate, back and forth. Wolf trying to waste time. It's not going to happen. Cannon 3-0'd on this map in the upper bracket final. Here, they get their revenge.
Oh, Hate! What the heck, man? The pistol at the end for the 1 versus 1. 16-7 in this game. We talked about Cannon coming into this one. Might feel a little bit scared of the history between Joint Base Langley-Eustis. They say, Brody, watch this. Watch and learn.
Just what more is there to say, Seymour? What more is there to say? Getting a 3-0 is crazy, right? You know, getting a 3-0 is crazy. And I think, you know, preceded that as well. I mean, those were 2 hard points that up until that point, I mean, things are pretty even between the 2 squads. So those are big hard points for Langley-Eustis. It really goes to show that all it ever really takes is one solid hold and it can win you the game. All our hard points have been close over the last few series. I expect this one to be exactly the same, but Cannon with a lot of momentum, they might have a blazing start.
They might. So out the gates, Cannon, they shoot right to that P1. And Argo's going to soak up a lot of time off of that break off 19 seconds. Langley-Eustis, they're going to get the break, but they need to push through this one. See if they can find some of these players off the respawn and flip these spawns out. Wolf, he's going to do it. That's going to spawn the rest of Langley-Eustis on the P2 side, and in 12 seconds, they're going to have that initial setup. They just have to win these next waves on the rotation.
All right, first wave, or first kill, excuse me, is good from Langley-Eustis. Reaper's going to be responsible for that one. Wolf also keeping an eagle eye on the cross to make sure nobody gets behind, but he repositions here towards lights. That's going to allow a player to get through, and one player spawns in the back line as well. RT is there. They're starting to heat up here. They're starting to wind up, but the kill's going not their way. RT gets through, and he doesn't last long.
Another wave of kills for Joint Base Langley-Eustis, and they flip this lead back their way. A team nade, a self-nade from Reaper, and that's definitely going to put some pressure onto the player inside the hill. Tantalize takes one down with him, but that's a break for Cannon. Spawns in the back. Joint Base Langley-Eustis will have another shot at this with 25 seconds. They're going to go fast, and Reaper, he's already beat them to the punchline. 3 go down. What a break.
Yeah, right back through our Langley-Eustis. They're only out of the hill for all of 10 seconds, and now things get worse for Cannon as well, because only one player is anywhere near the rotation. He's just been found out. That's so unfortunate for RT on that timing. So Langley-Eustis should be good here for control of the power positions. It isn't going to be Wolf that plays for it. It's going to be Tantalize, and that makes sense given Tantalize's AR role within the squad. He's going to have to win a massive 1 versus 2 here. Tantalize cut down. That's unfortunate. Didn't expect resistance that quickly, and they also don't expect somebody towards ammunition. So Cannon, pretty solid setup here to try and hold towards the next hill.
For sure, solid indeed, and Hate's just going to hop that time, see what you can do to chop down this lead that Langley-Eustis got off that P2. Da Vinci to the middle of the map has help with Wolf. That's going to remove them from the hill for now as Cannon, they're holding the better spawns, but they still need to fight for this time nonetheless. Artie's double kill, that's going to open things up. He gets all 3 for the break-in. 6 and 7. Not going to expect Reaper to be here, and in fact, Reaper will get back over towards this hard point. It actually might have shifted things a little bit. You're looking at Tantalize on that minimap. I think that he's got a good chance to flip these spawns.
He's definitely going to try here. You still have to get rid of the player inside art, though, if you really want to lock those spawns down. Argo runs out towards the back. You'll take one down. Nice from Tantalize. He's all alone. Tantalize still going to be weak from that fight. Yeah, he was never going to hit the reset. So, well played for Cannon to actually make sure they hold on towards these back spawns. Langley have a solid advantage at this point in time, but Cannon with those back spawns, they'll continue to get reinforcements on the hold.
Good wave of kills for Cannon. They're going to be in first. Big hill to get, and it looks like Da Vinci wants to open up the round.
Oh my god.
Yodak, he does it again when you least expect it. And it's back to square one. You really needed that from Da Vinci, but Langley-Eustis Looking to kick it into gear to see if they can get this break going through the side door. Reaper, he finds his. Traded out as Da Vinci. 3 versus 3 to get this break going. But it's a stun that connects with the side of Reaper's head that takes him down. Our car bomb onto Tantalize. Hate using everything in the map to take down his opponents.
Still going as well. 3 in a row. 1v1 around the back line. Wolf is going to go for the reposition here through the front of the point. Figures, hey, look, 10 seconds left. There's no real reason to shoot for this. Just make sure you set yourselves up for a new. Unfortunately, you haven't got on lock. I'll say that much. Yodak is over there. He actually gets found out. All well and good for Langley-Eustis. So, 20-point advantage as we go into the second set here for Cannon. It is a small lead. But Cannon, it is something they could still blow wide open if they hold on to those P2 spawns.
That's looking to make a mountain out of this molehill. As everybody from Cannon looking to converge on Tantalize. He finds one, but that's all you're going to get. 3 versus 3 for this P1 setup that Cannon are looking to solidify. Da Vinci over the top. Nobody's going to be watching this one. And when he gets to Argo, it's a trade that favors Cannon. Inside of it, Langley-Eustis, they fight through it. Artie still trying to do his best to keep you away, and Artie is unstoppable in the clutch.
Artie just going crazy. He will fall, but Artie does enough there. Again, all about holding that P2 side for the spawns. You can lose the 5 seconds of scrap time. You just need to make sure that you hold this. This is a pivotal moment in this game and in this matchup. Cannon with a 20-point advantage. They got a hold, but one player spawned out. That might actually benefit them.
They might. Yodak behind them all. Nobody's going to expect the shots. Nice shots from Yodak. As he is pinpoint with the Jackal, the break through the back, and Cannon is in. Hellstorm for Hate. Every eye looking forward. Giant-based Langley-Eustis have to fight through the middle of the map, and Da Vinci's going to look through a timing to get on this flank, but Artie's going to watch it, and you're already down 1. Now you're down 3 members from this approach. Tantalize, do you even want to give it a try?
You kind of have to, right? This is a 25 seconds. You know that as long as you send one player back towards Art, that you should be good to try and break this. Now shots out from Wolf. Now you're going to follow up that if you're Da Vinci. Good pre-fire, though, from Hate in the hardpoint itself. He will hold this down for as long as humanly possible. This is a nice swing if you can hold on to it. Good pre-fire again. Tantalize tracked through the wall. Also a little bit of help from Argo close. And I talked about it going into that hardpoint Seymour Cannon. They had a 20-point advantage. That has now grown to 60. And Yodak wins the crucial fight up top as well. It might be about to get worse for Langley.
Yodak is to the moon right now with his energy levels, and I'm loving every second. Argo double kill. That's going to pave way to get in towards this P3 hard point for Cannon to push this lead even further. Yodak to the middle of the map. He's on 3 in a row. You have that lead, and it keeps on growing, Brody. At some point, you have to start seeing somebody from Langley-Eustis take it into their own account to try to flip these P4 spawns. Everybody just continues to pour into this hill.
They're getting a lot of time here. Yodak's trying his best to provide some coverage. You need somebody getting a contest spot, and that is exactly what happens. Yodak is doing that now through the middle of the map. Going to join forces of Alti. He also gets involved in the fight. Hate continues to hold this power position. Somebody, please take Tantalize out of the play. Artie for the slide chow. That is exactly what happens. Now Artie looking for number 2. He's been peppered up from a multitude of angles. He will just have to settle for now some mid-map coverage as we go towards new. Cannon's lead still stands about a 50 to 60 points. They could grow it even more.
Hate's going to find 2. 3 go down. 4 go down. The nade's going to connect, but it's too little too late. Cannon looking for that second best of 5. Looking to get it done here. And there's nothing that Joint Base Langley have been able to do to break these P4s. One chance for Da Vinci and Artie there to shut him down. Hate still has that Hellstorm, Brody, but he's got his gun loaded with Hellstorms.
Yeah, it feels like it at the moment, right? 18 and 13. It isn't that impressive as a scoreline, but every single kill that he has made has felt so crucial to the hardpoint control. And this game has just got wildly out of proportion, hasn't it? Langley-Eustis feel like they are in the biggest amount of trouble right now, the biggest hole, and I just don't know if you have a shovel big enough to get out of it, or even unwieldy enough. Cannon right back in towards P1 for the next bit of control. Seymour, they are just 37 away from resetting the bracket.
That's all you're going to need, and for Langley-Eustis, this looks terrible right now. 30 seconds, Tantalize over the top. That's going to remove Artie from the hill, but your teammates start dropping like flies. Back and forth, trade on the hunt. Yodak, he is twisted. 5 in a row again. This guy's unstoppable, Brody. Such a fun player to watch.
Yep, continues to shred through the opposition. Cannon about to approach the point where they'll need a PT rotation to close out this game. Yodak straight towards the time. They're not watching it. He only needs to poke and prod, and the rest of the team will do the work. Yodak now looking for the back 20 seconds. P1 time, might as well go for it. He's not being stopped, and Da Vinci will finally shut him down. But all of this entire progress of play is just to try and push Langley-Eustis back. One player's not having it. Reaper's trying to break.
Yeah, Reaper all the way to the back line. Wolf's going to draw the attention away from him, and Reaper strikes. Wolf wins his fights, and by the time he goes down, it's too little too late. You can see the players from Langley-Eustis, they're on the approach. Cannon in the hill for a second, but he has to back up. Argo tried to do some damage to the setup, only good for the one. Spawns are here, and Wolf going to give a little bit of reprieve to Hop this time.
Oh boy, Yodak and Argo, they pick up the kills. Hate will bring down that streak, but it's not going to help. It will actually get the TK, so Langley-Eustis now spawning in the backline. Doesn't matter. You win the gunfight. Reaper for 2, Wolf for number 3. Langley-Eustis are somehow holding on. Now they get players in towards the time, and you can start to push out of the kill.
Wolf above them. Hate's in, 3 in a row. Pistol gonna get you through. You can't win off this time, Brody. We will be going to another hill. And for Langley-Eustis, just to not be stressed out to the max, they are gonna get that scrap time. It's just a race. Look at Reaper. He's on the flank. He has to do some damage to the setup.
They're not going to expect Reaper to be in this position. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that Reaper's not going for art control. This is a bit of a weird one. I think he just wants to try and ensure that this hill is contested. Somebody else can deal with art later on. Reaper is just going to sandbag the hill. But Hate is a problem. He was doing this in the last rotation, being a constant nuisance. He was pretty much a perfect player towards art. And now that second Hellstorm is down from Yodak. It's not really going to help, but it's going to be a rogue spawn coming through from Argo. And this could be the damager that closes out the game.
It could be, but right now, Langley-Eustis, this damage control is sublime. Spawns all over the place, nothing fully solidified. Argo gonna have another chance at this break. You can see that Langley-Eustis, they're spawning deep. Already gonna take care of Tantalize, trying to sneak in towards ours with 14 seconds. Yes, you can jump this hill, but all you have to do to win this map, to win this first best of 5, is hold these spawns to new.
That's all you have to do. Langley-Eustis on the other side. One amazing break, and they could still extend this series to 5. They've somewhat clawed back the advantage. One player snuck right under the nose. They have no idea. They have no idea that Reaper's in. Now that they do, the hard point is lit up blue. Reaper, all to do towards the hard point. Gets shut down by Argo. That's the first kill, and now Langley-Eustis will panic.
6 seconds left. Who's gonna touch? Wolf gonna try his best. Already right behind him. That's gonna be it for the first best of 5. We are going the distance in this grand final. Cannon have decided that they have come to party in the World Esports Championships. Rack it up again.
And we didn't get to see the smack talk across the stage at the start of that best of 5, but I can tell you right now, I know for a fact that RT was screaming his lungs out at the opposition. Cannon, oh man. What a phenomenal series from them. Honestly, I was a little bit concerned, I'll admit. I said that, that map number 1 was pivotal to them at the beginning of the series. I wanted to see them continue the momentum through from the last matchup for them, from that lower bracket final, and them losing map number 1. I really thought, all right, that's going to be it. But the way they recovered through this series, granted, I think that maps number 2 and 4 were kind of made for them, but the way they've managed to come back, it really is something to behold.
And we are back with the skyline loaded up for both of these two teams, ready to kick off the second best of 5 of this grand finals. Winner takes the belt. Loser gonna have to settle for a second place medal that I'm sure neither one of these teams want to walk away with all the work that they've put on across the course of these 5 days.
All right, Cannon, let's see if they can start off as well as they did last time around. They look pretty good for P1 control, and they look like they could be good again. Hate is just going to chill behind the jacuzzi for a moment, keep every single ligament tucked in. And one little wraparound was made from Cannon there, and they almost immediately flipped these spawns. W play from Cannon.
Big W. For sure. Still some to worry about, though, in the backline. Artie's not going to be ready for it, but it's Reaper on 3 in a row to open up the skyline. He has to find some more. No read onto Yodak, just playing coy towards the back of Patio, trying to open things up for the rest of your team in the break. Yodak on a triple spree. He's going to provide a gateway back into this hard point. Yodak finds a 4th one, too, doing everything he can to keep Cannon in the lead.
Alright, Cannon, 4 in a row for Yodak. You get Child from the back of the hard point. Tantalize and Da Vinci, putting some shots on Da Vinci. Walks away with both of those gunfights, and Da Vinci will find a third. Nicely done. Langley-Eustis now looking to hold here for the back 25.
Only 25 more seconds on this one is going to flip this lead back in, and it looks like Cannon are actually going to sell this setup. They're going to go back over towards this old hill. Argo ends up going down. Surely this is going to flip those spawns for a setup, and it's going to be parallels for the P3 hill. Hate's going to get that scrap time with 3 going down. It's a race back to get that setup.
I don't hate this, you know, no pun intended. I gotta stop saying hate during a match with hate in it, but regardless, yeah, I don't despise this whatsoever, right? As long as you push forward and try and push out those spawns, that's exactly what Argo does. Quick enough. He gets shut down. Yeah, as long as you're quick enough. But now you're gonna lose the gunfights here. The ensemble, Langley-Eustis knocking at the door, Reaper able to waltz on through. He finds the double, and yeah, it kind of weakens the setup a little bit.
You throw the dice and it's snake eyes right away. I mean, that gamble just does not pay off. Fortunately enough, these subs have been frying. Yodak in particular, he's back on a 3 spree, 11-4 to start this Skyline, Brody. He hasn't skipped a beat off the reset into the second best of 5. And not to mention, he has got a good cast behind him doing the most to get this hill time, and that's Hate with 40 seconds inside.
Tantalize gonna draw some kills in his favor. Cannon looking to move forward to get back in towards this time. They don't necessarily need to. The problem is, though, with those players dying towards grass, now the spawner has been made. Langley-Eustis looking pretty good here for the rotation. One player, though, could still blow it up. It's RT. He hasn't been discovered.
He hasn't. And Ari's just waiting for the rest of his team to get into a position. Here he is. He gets his, but he's traded immediately. It doesn't seem like that's really going to put a dent into the setup, but there is no forward pressure from Langley-Eustis. So a lot of these fights are going to come from being bunkered inside this hard point, and so far not the greatest from Cannon. It's Yodak having to go big yet again for the play. He breaks it by himself at the end for the 1-versus-1, and it will flip those spawns out for 30 seconds. Langley-Eustis is going to take another swing.
Definitely will try. 3 between Cannon players there. Langley-Eustis getting cut down. They're going to go straight through bedroom. Only technically one player actually inside the point. Argo watching the cross, who now has to back down, and that coverage disappearing means that Yodak gets taken out of the kill. Argo then goes down. Wolf is burning through players right now to the pistol. That's a courageous gunfight that he will not win. But nonetheless, that little break there towards the end ensures that Langley-Eustis continue to hold the lead in this game, but it is a tentative one. Tantalize wants to extend it.
Yeah, they want to just push even further. So the full setup, Artie gonna get stunned up. Nice play from Da Vinci to close that gap. He's gonna delay any attempts to break this P1, at least with numbers. We've seen Cannon do it with less, and it looks like they're going to do it again. Hate for the slide out, not able to transition into 2. Back and forth kills. Numbers to Langley. Da Vinci finds 2. That's going to get them back into the hill to soak up more of this P1 time, and there is lots of P1 time to get. Still 22 seconds, Brody.
22 seconds for Langley-Eustis to lose on this hard point. They are just going to have to focus in on this scrap time for now. Focusing on the rotation, excuse me, for now. And they do have control of it for the moment here, but they aren't watching Kitchen. No one was watching it whatsoever. So now Cannon have started to filter through towards the hard point. RT gets taken out of the play, but they've done their job. They're starting to stress Langley-Eustis out, but 3 players go down. Argo gets shut down as well. And despite it not being a perfect setup, they still can't break it.
Cannon are starting to fall behind in this map number 1, so maybe Langley-Eustis have cooked with the vetoes. And the Skyline looking a lot better for the rotational setups. Wolf 19-8, Tantalize 16-13. All the while getting a lot of time scattered across the majority. Cannon will find a break for 30 seconds in this one. You still have a couple players in the back, and it doesn't look like they're going to get an immediate read onto this. Gives a chance for Da Vinci and Tantalize to put 3 kills together. A 4th one on Reaper on the rotation. And with that for Langley, they're again stealing this back-end time away from Cannon, pushing that lead even further up.
Yeah, this is now starting to get a little bit out of hand here. Cannon at 3-0. Potential from them is starting to run away from them. RT will at the very least trade things out. All of a sudden, you need to have a solid hold on this next hard point. Problem is, you've got players approaching from all different angles. One of those players has been cut down. You recognize where Tantalize is for the second, and you do clear that up. So, great setup here for Cannon. Players approaching from all angles. You're able to deal with it.
Yeah, I like this from Artie, slowly trying to hold this one back. Nice patience onto the play the Reaper was trying to make. Now turns around looking to assist this hill. Argo slides up. Artie on 3 in a row. Well, that spawn in the pack for Da Vinci might put some distress on the players inside of this hard point. Fortunately enough, you have Yodak. Oh no, that's Hate towards P1. That's giving them time to recover.
Can they actually do anything, though? That's the question. Wolf will jump into a couple of gunfights here. And now for Langley-Eustis, potentially, I was going to say, actually, to try and hit that rotation. They're not able to do so. Yodak now is more important in the play here. He gets cut down. Langley-Eustis has swung the momentum through towards the next hardpoint. Artie needs to stop this. Good for the second. Good team shots. One more player. You know exactly where he's going to be. Argo is responsible for both of those gunfights. But Artie, he got some team shots through. That is a necessary immediate break from Cannon.
Yes, it is. Cannon need this time. No ifs and or buts. You lose it. And that's probably Langley-Eustis looking to put this map one away like they did in the first best of 5. This time, though, on the skyline, you get a little bit more fight towards the back end from Cannon. And let's see if they can hold things down from the back line. A couple players getting back in. It's going to be Hate, but he's not able to hit the deck. Yodak, your turn. 29 HP. Is anybody here to help him? It is. Argo behind. Shuts down the rest. And it looks like Langley-Eustis is going to group up for one more time, waiting for the players to get here. Tantalize goes down. Da Vinci in for the contest. He breaks it. Hate, one more chance. Pistols out. Not able to take Reaper down, but his teammate will. And it is going to be what seems like a tie game now, Brody, going into the third set.
Well, it's not the hill that necessarily Cannon wanted, but they do take that hill away from Langley-Eustis, and that is the primary thing, no matter how much of a sluggerfest that hard point was. As you said, pretty much all even Stevens here going into the third and final set. But Langley-Eustis, once again, in control of P1, once again, in control of the PT rotation, and they just prioritize that PT rotate, right? Flip the map in your favor, then you can deal with the player and towards the hard point. That is exactly what they do, but Da Vinci, he has other plans.
Whoa.
Good for 2, can't hit the shots towards the third, but he does enough to clear them out of the point.
I can, good to tie things up, but they need to keep this momentum going. 3 down again, and you're spawning all the way back to the P4 side of the map. All 3 players together as it is staggered now that Argo is down, so you need a major moment here. Yodak gonna get across to the gym, but a flanking play from Reaper, 3 in a row, breaks things up, and 2 players looking to set up its parallels for Tantalize.
Yodak's been spotted out. They know he's here. Wolf keeping an eye on the cross. Can't get away with that kill cleanly now. Wolf looking for more. He's overwhelmed. It's a wave of white players in the feed, and they are all going to hit the hill from different points here. Hate looking pretty good for the first one. He's spotted out Da Vinci. Keep your head down, Hate. You've got a player for the coverage. RT yeets a nade out. Might be able to get a posthumous kill with it. And he does at least weaken one play up. Is anybody there for the trade? Yes, they are. Now looking for the last ones towards the back line. Back spawns. Still locked in for Langley.
Langley in the back, looking to get in. Still enough time to win this here and now. A couple kills coming through from Cannon, so in for the contest. Da Vinci can ward them off, but he's alone now, and he needs his players to get here. Double stack, triple if you include Rupert on the outside. He finds his value, and players dropping still for Cannon. This is not done for Cannon. They don't get the rotation. They have to hit this hill.
Gotta go. Can anybody get there in time? Da Vinci's watching the cross. I don't think anyone can touch this. They're being held off. They're being held off. And Langley-Eustis walk away with a map number 1 victory.
And I mean, wow, Langley, they really ran away with it. A little bit of a hiccup when Cannon brought things back at the end of the second rotations, Brody, but you go to that P1, you get so much time off those hills that are normally contested, and you hold those spawns towards P2. That's the difference for Langley-Eustis, the way they're able to string together those 2 hills and sneak away with so much time. Cannon, I mean, it's a valiant effort, especially from Yodak, 29 and 25, but at the end of it, you just could not get that consistency across the entire map. And I think for Langley-Eustis, Cannon, though, even still, I trust that a player like Artie will figure out a way through this protocol search and destroy it. As we jump into this map number 2, wow, okay, I couldn't be any more wrong.
It's impressive, isn't it?
It is
super
impressive.
They are not getting any more A-site control, that is for sure, because now you've got a player pushed up in towards map. So Cannon need a late round adjustment, and they need it pretty damn fast. That late round adjustment is now coming by way of getting the bomb over towards B. But Langley-Eustis have also predicted this, and I don't blame them whatsoever. You've got maps coverage. There's no real reason not to have players pull back for potential B push. Argo now down, and Yodak Has to find good timing. Oh my god. Yodak, are you kidding?
I think that's the first one we've seen all tournament. Generally, that might actually be... I don't even think we've seen a kidnap. Have we?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe we have. I don't know. Someone in production can tell us whether or not we have. Either way,
seen a lot of Call of Duty.
We have.
Well, everybody from Langley-Eustis just throwing shoulders. Eventually, this round's going to be over, and Langley-Eustis are going to take this first round pretty handedly off of a mistake from Artie that was made in the elevator shaft by way of your own grenades. So, into this next round, I mean, definitely want to forget that one fast, but for Langley-Eustis, off of that first map 1, that's a fantastic start into the second map, especially considering that Rewind, Search, and Destroy back in the second map of the first best of 5, Brody. You lost 3 rounds in a row to open it up. I think they lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, 4 in a row. You're correct. Yeah, just wild. Totally different round. Of course, the team nade probably did help. The self-nade, I should say, probably did help. Not having to deal with Artie in that round definitely changed things. Langley-Eustis, though, now going to bang out towards bottom side. They open things up with the first blood. You still have presence inside the site for how long, though? You're losing the trades. Hate can't escape, and that should realistically be the round done. Argo, has he slipped by? No, he hasn't. No escape.
There is no try. Joint base Langley-Eustis 2-0 in the Search and Destroy now, starting to get some momentum in this series off of that map 1 win on Skyline. And we talk about, does this come down to the vetoes, Brody? Bringing Protocol into the mix, vetoing out some of the better maps that Langley-Eustis have been playing through. You forced them away from the Rewind, and I think for Cannon, it is going to shake things up a bit. We have seen it so far. Both Argo and Artie haven't been able to get anything off of these first bloods, these opening engagements. In fact, they've kind of been getting caught way too early. You need to slow things down if you're Cannon. Start to find these first bloods. You can't just blitz everything.
Okay. Well, Cannon already down at the start of this round. No blitz off the start. They're going to try and change strategy again. Oh, man, I really wanted to see Artie hold his bullets for a little bit longer there, because now Yodak, I mean, he has to just try and create the weirdest route known to man. He is so dead. I've never seen a player more dead before they actually died.
Is that possible? I mean, again, that is a great description of it. I see exactly what you're saying, and it's funny to think about. Langley-Eustis out 3 in a row to open up this Protocol Search and Destroy. They are rolling through this one.
Man, brilliant play from Langley-Eustis. And yeah, I think, to answer your previous question from the last round, right, it almost does feel like, I mean, again, we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here a little bit. We're putting the cart before the horse, as it were. But it does feel like Langley-Eustis have kind of not necessarily won this series, because they haven't won it by far yet. We are just into map number 2. But it does definitely feel like the vetoes were a massive boon of success for them, right? I mean, you don't play any of those same successive maps as Cannon won in the first series. Like, both faults are gone. The Rewind is gone. Like, this is totally different from Langley-Eustis. The Protocol, different gravy, and Cannon kind of looks stuck in the water. But in towards this round, Cannon, they do get control of the A site. Artie is predicted,
there we go.
You take the trade, but at least Artie gets the first blood this time.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that is completely different than this break-off stuff we've had across the past 3 rounds. So Cannon are looking to get their first on the board here in Protocol. See if they can swing things back their way. Great positioning from Yodak. Just hold your position. Don't move. You got full trust in both Argo and Hate to catch any information if they do go anywhere other than through that door, which it does seem like Langley-Eustis are gambling with the idea to go over towards B.
Langley-Eustis just taking a real long time here. If it is going to be NA hit, they've got to do it fast. Here we go. The big noise. They've just been spotted on the cross. Da Vinci is weak. He is not going to be able to do anything in this play until he regens. And now you've got to have the bomb carrier be the tip of the spear. Time really running out. Both angles being watched. They are dead before they even get a look at the bomb site. It is over. There is not a chance in hell that Wolf has this one. And just for measure, Hate has already slid out to make sure that he's been calmed. Finally, Cannon on the board, and would you believe that they got first blood in that round?
You know, I think that is exactly what switches things for this Cannon Air Force-based team. Langley-Eustis have just been rolling through these rounds, just bullying their way through every single gunfight, and as soon as there's something to fight back with, all right, they come to a complete halt. They're trying to cut noise to see if they can draw any of those Cannon players out, make mistakes, but they didn't do it. Yodak trusted the other two in Argo and Hate to calm if there was anybody rotating through the middle of the map over towards B. They saw nothing. They stood still, and together with Argo's reposition, it was a sublime crossfire inside A. Now with the trophies down, let's see if they can get an attacking round. Ooh.
Ooh, Da Vinci. Oh, no! Oh, my God! Oh, goodness me. You really do have to scream and shout after that one, don't you? I just want to see this again.
Hey, Brody, I'm back. How deep are we into the round?
That was 12-second round. Something to that effect.
Wait, it's over?
Brother, that went quicker than I normally do. That is insane. 12 seconds. Shush!
Da Vinci, I mean, he just chopped them up. That was crazy. He's got to get loud at that one. Impressive stuff over towards the A sites, and look at this on the other side. It looks like Cannon are trying to take a different approach to this through the middle of the map. It's already drawing first blood. Argo beside him, 2 down, bomb down in the middle. And you are completely isolated on both ends of the field. Yodak's going to spot one player. Tantalize not able to turn that fight. 1 versus 4 for Da Vinci, and he's just give himself away.
It's more of a challenge, right? Trying to do a standoff against these 4 remaining players. Da Vinci just going to burn some time off the clock here. And they're not biting. I don't actually think they know where he is. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think that glass smash did nothing. Da Vinci finally reveals himself. And now the collapse should happen. Hey, is trying to put some cross-map bullets in. Argo keeping an eye from top zip as well. He will have seen him slide out towards the back. Is he going to catch Artie? He just got Artie as well. Gets that second kill. All of a sudden,
surely
this is a doable 1 versus 2.
Surely not, Brody. All these guys have to do is trade each other out. Argo, he's been spotted. Bomb still down through the middle of the map. I mean, Da Vinci, you have to take this fight. He's going to go all the way up the zip. The knife is out. Oh, shanks him down. Nice. Cannon put themselves 2 in a row now, or at least a second round on the board. 2 down from Langley-Eustis. And we get a look back at this one. Argo, he was taking no chances with this rope. Good prediction for that fight up top. If he had his gun out, I actually give him the benefit of the doubt to win that one-on-one. But, Brody, there was only 10 seconds to get the second kill.
Yeah.
No time to plant. That should have been around for Cannon, no matter what. Just got a little bit closer than expected.
Just the fact he even gets a look at that, right? Just the fact he even gets a look is wild.
Oh,
Cannon have found their footing in this search and destroy. Is it too late, though? They're 2 rounds down. Langley-Eustis have been pretty consistent on winning these defenses. I think Wolf just saw the player that ran into Armory. Yeah, the con was made, and they definitely know where he is. Artie's run right behind enemy lines. Da Vinci's clearing out a bomb site. They know that this is a B.
Yes, they do. So Cannon looking to get some momentum their way with 3 potential rounds in a row. The RCXT from Tantalize. I don't even know where it's going at this point, as he is stuck behind this B site. Bomb's going to go down. Tantalize behind the play. Good shots on the Hate, but he's not going to connect fully. Everything's going to come down to player number 3, Argo. He's making the full wrap past these players, and nobody has the read.
You don't know where Da Vinci's on the other side, though, so a bit of a secret weapon for both teams here. Da Vinci will activate for Yodak. Argo should be getting a freebie here. Will do so. Other player towards the helipad is stuck, but now 17. You know where Argo is, and Argo just has to stop the bomb with 15 seconds left. They're going to go on the hunt. Wolf should get this kill. He does exactly that. Beautiful team play from Langley-Eustis. They clear out the site together.
It's difficult decision-making. I mean, you want to assist Hate as fast as possible. You just don't get there in time from the flank. And Langley-Eustis, they do everything right off that retake. Now, if you take that battle, if you're Argo, and instead of sliding over towards the helipad, you stay towards those stairs, you have such a better chance at winning that round. But the fact that Cannon get themselves into a situation where both players are stuck, compromised in the open, you're just hoping for some kind of a timing, some kind of a mistake. And Langley-Eustis, they cover their trails. They check every rock. They make sure that there is nowhere left to hide for that post-plant situation. So hopping into the next round, please, DaVinci, move. We're seeing if Langley-Eustis, with 1 round left, can go up 2-0 in this second best of 5 for the grand finals. And he's taking a few steps, but come on, man, come on.
We don't need him. We don't need him.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Oh, my God. DaVinci, please, no. Never again.
That's going to shake up the timings off this break-off.
Yeah.
In fact, Cannon's going to get so much presence over towards A. The nade will back you off, but they've gotten a player all the way up to P2. And you're looking at Artie to be really a difference maker in this whole setup.
Artie sat down, watching. Big 1 versus 1. Reaper's not going to check it. Yep, Artie, easy. For the first kill. And that's man advantage here for Cannon. Where the Langley-Eustis go from here? DaVinci is just going to peek a corner on towards B. They're stun checking for him, though.
Shots out. Trades in. And we're going to see if Cannon can keep this one going. 4 versus 3. DaVinci, Hate. Taken down. 2 versus 3 now for Cannon. They have to clutch up. Bomb going down. Argo, he has to get through the gauntlet of this double setup. Yodak alongside him. Can they get it done? It's all down to Yodak. I don't think it's possible. Tantalize ends up falling, but it's going to have to be a 1v3 clutch.
Wow, how the tables have turned. Yodak has to clear out back Telly. He has no reason to think that they're anywhere else. And yeah, he looks in that direction. He will get shut down. Langley-Eustis, they have put a dampener on any momentum built from the last best of 5. They now have a 2-0 advantage.
2-0 up for joint base Langley-Eustis, shaking off all of the rust from the first best of 5. Looking a lot better this time around for Cannon or Air Force Base. Cannon shell-shocked after that protocol. Hate had a little bit of a stinker. 1 and 6. 3 first bloods for Artie. A lot this week, and every single time the offense just gets silenced. Even towards Champs, even towards EWC, it was the same thing. Offense is difficult on this map mode combo, and you really need to slay out if you want to make your way out of these spawn traps. And so far, you get over towards A, but immediately the flank from Reaper is going to put it down to just 1. Contest comes in, the clearance of that second segment. They do get the 1 capture, but now you have to work out of your spawn.
Here is that spawn trap into effect. A couple of players have gotten by, it's worth saying. Tantalize is going to have to draw some players back for the moment here. Can have now RT through towards Grandma's for the moment. Reaper inside, keeping an eye on Yodak. Yodak, ring around the rosy. Finally, he gets shut down, and RT, who had made that flank, is also going to fall. So Langley-Eustis, pretty much perfect defense so far.
Yeah, so far so good. Cannon just have not been able to get anything going. Hate up top is trying to find some kills, but it's trades in the kill feed, and you haven't made too much progression over towards this objective. Argo, he's going to get there, but he is so compromised, and there is no assistance for him to stay alive. Hate's going to find a kill, but it's too late. It's already cleared. It's a race over towards B to see if he can extend it.
I should be able to get him across. Oh, no, he doesn't finish the gunfight. He thinks he put enough bullets into him, so no, Hate will survive that. We'll be able to hit the regen as well. Now has help on the point. Argo to double up. Now just Hate. Argo is gone, but he's still stopping the clock. Langley-Eustis don't want to full send to take it, and in doing so, they're actually giving a tick away towards Hate. Somebody needs to stop him. Somebody please stop Hate. Please. Oh my God. How is Hate still alive? You know what? You know what? If Hate's not going to go down by way of you might as well just let them do it.
Exactly. A team kills the only way that Hate can be killed. Over towards A. Already Yodak trying to work on the second segment. Contest is in. Yodak does end up going down, but there are teammates still here trying to get this last tick. Double team on the flank. And that's what's going to look to put this one away. As you clear that A zone, the time's going to dwindle even more. 14 seconds to make anything out of this. And you have to go to A. B's not even an option at this point, but there's 3 players surrounding that A zone. Everybody's on top of it. B is the only option, but it's just not the right option.
Argo's got to move as well. You got 5 seconds left. You might as well full send it here, and he actually should be able to stop this. Yeah, A looks like it's going to go. Honestly, you got another player on the point. Langley-Eustis have been somewhat kind of unsettled by the idea of defending the point. But as I say, that Wolf and Da Vinci, they will combine for 3, and finally it's over. I will say, though, again, to follow on my point there at the end, it feels like Langley-Eustis at times have been unwilling to actually jump onto the point as a defensive side. Just from that one round of play, they probably could have stopped Hate getting that one tick through on B, and they certainly could have stopped what happened at A.
Probably. I agree. I think that's been a commonality in a lot of these defenses, just, trying to go for the kills rather than neutralize those objectives. And a lot of teams have been kind of costed because of that. And you'd hate to see a team this deep into the tournament make that mistake as well. Fortunately enough for Langley-Eustis, they do collect that defensive round, even with Tantalize having a little bit of a slow start. But, I mean, hey, Wolf, 11 streak to open up this control. Kind of a silent one, too. Surely he's got the Hellstorm, and it doesn't look like they're going to try to go for a break-off down low. Artie and Hate, early shutdown in that category, and that's going to put some pressure over towards the spawners.
Yeah, and again, this is what you want to see. If you're a cannon, you've got to get your SMGs starting to fly. You've got players in the power positions now. Langley-Eustis' response, though, is actually pretty solid here. They're just going to stack a couple of players on the point and get as much progression as possible. Draw the attention of Cannon. It sends all the players back. They're starting to get kills now. One more player, though, to deal with. RT, they didn't account for him, so he is now going to turn the attention of the players coming off the spawn from Langley-Eustis. Finally, though, he goes down, and now Langley-Eustis can focus on getting on the point.
Yeah, you're kind of all over the place right now if you're Langley-Eustis. Nobody's been able to go to this objective. The time has been going down this whole time. With only 50 seconds left, yes, you're getting kills, but it hasn't really mattered. Finally, you get clearance towards your own spawn. That should warrant a stack over towards A. 2 players going to be there. Wolf does end up going down, but that second segment's in. The third one's getting worked on.
Stun over the top. Will connect on towards Argo, as you said. Second segment now going to be through. Somebody just needs to cover the middle of the map. Argo able to fly towards the point. Ruben Da Vinci. They answer back, though. Argo is good for it. RT's also going to clear Banana. And now we'll find ourselves with another reset. Cannon can reinstall that spawn trap if they so desire. They didn't clear out for RT, though. So RT is just going to be more of a nuisance.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I just stacked the point. No reason to go for spawn kills right there, and because of that, you are facing down the barrel of losing this round. Argo should have the better of this fight. 2 down. Lovely challenge there to stop the progress over towards A, but you do still have a lifeline in the water. It's 3 players coming off spawn. A clear out top triple. You get it done. Can you get this A zone?
Yeah, again, there's one more wild card, though. Darcy will make his position known. Wolf, almost turns onto him. Someone else with the spawn can go and deal with that one. Reaper's at least going to place a Semtex to try to. Nope, RT hits the regen. He picks up a second kill. That was the player on the zone. Da Vinci, 1 versus 3. He is peppered up and gets shut down, but in sending 3 players towards a point, they've made B weak.
Over towards B. Stuns out. Tantalized alone. Good for 1, but Wolf, can he get here in time? He cannot. The dive at the end. Cannon gonna successfully get this defensive round, and really, that was joint-based Langley-Eustis making all of the wrong decisions when they had a clear path to that A zone getting captured. You had 3 down, Brody. Everybody was there for the stack. 3 members could have set up, and instead, you leave 1 player to slowly capture it. You try to make the full wrap around Grandma's. I mean, you make that wrap, yes, you're going to be on the flank, but they're spawning over towards P2. They're not even going to be in your line of sight, so you're just not making anything happen there other than those deep spawns, and without that support, you only get that second segment. You don't get that third one, and you allow Cannon just a safe exit from this potential spawn trap. It's just a bad play, and so many people do it.
Yeah, I totally agree. It is. I think it's just a general thing for casters, right? They hate seeing something where it's like, you can stack the point and you don't. It is just frustrating every single time. And as you said, it effectively loses Langley-Eustis at least the opportunity to tie things up in terms of ticks versus Cannon. So they have 2. I believe Cannon have 3 in total off their first effort. And now Cannon in towards this round, starting to garner even more. Da Vinci flying at the point. He is going to get shut down. Second tick about to be through here. This looks like they could already lose the point. If I'm Langley-Eustis, I just could give this up. Yep,
I mean,
that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to have to.
No, you stack the point and it's done. I mean, like, simple math right there.
Who could have seen that coming?
Ooh, Argo. Nice shots in. Tantalize finally going to find some breathing room for the team. 3 down. And you are trying to stop this snowball over towards B. all this, Wolf is still sitting on this Hellstorm. Might need to come into factor if you do go 4 down on this B zone attempt. But so far, Langley-Eustis, after losing this A zone, they've done a great job at shutting down anything over towards B. Really anything on the map.
Yeah. Langley-Eustis have somewhat recovered from their initial stumble. Double kill coming through. Reaper needs to reinstall himself towards top triple windows. He needs to win that gunfight against Argo, and he does exactly that. Wolf towards the point also doing a relatively good job. Oh my god, the read on towards Artie almost gets away with that gunfight for free, but no. We'll have to trade things out. And now Cannon have to do it the old-fashioned way. Straight towards the point they go. Hate starting to clear some space. Also play it towards computers as well. And this is going to pull Reaper back. That's if he survives this engagement around Armory.
Good shots there. Wolf backs down. He's going to re-aggress this one. He doesn't need to, though. The rest of his team around him, they get the job done. They even pick up already inside Grandma's. So this spawn trap that Reaper's looking to get done is going to be very, very dangerous to deal with. Cannon managing to keep it at 1 life lost. Still a minute left, but you just haven't been able to put anything together as a team. You need to slow things down and take these players out of your spawn.
Yeah, I do love that from Cannon, though, you know, again, you are kind of getting trolled in this round, but at the very least, I think the effort there, just like, look, Reaper in top trips, he's going to be a constant nuisance. Let's just expend all of our resources here off this set of lives to actually go ahead and deal with him. Unfortunately, despite the fact that they send 3 players, towards the top side, towards top triples, you know, they just lose the preceding gunfights. So, yeah, 3 versus 14 now. You're getting knifed up by Tantalize as well. He's putting some extra style on it, and 3 ticks is all that you will get it. But again, shout out to Cannon, because those 3 ticks, I don't know how it looks on the math right now, but it feels like Langley-Eustis pretty much have to get 5, I want to say, in the next round at the very least, to force a defense around number 5.
If you get 4, I think that ties things up. No, you need 5 to tie things up. You need 6 to take the, well, I guess the offensive round here, and or the defensive round, and the... I mean, at this point, you just need as many as you can for now to get towards those lives. 5 ticks is going to be good enough. 6, you win the round and get this one done.
Yeah, I think they've got the lives just by way of Wolf. I mean, he's 32 and 8. I'm pretty sure that is enough to give them the lives. So the rest of the teammates are either...
Yeah, Wolf is having a run right now.
He is, and I think it speaks to kind of where Langley-Eustis are at right now. The fact that they, you know, haven't had an offensive win despite those stat lines. I think that's kind of insane. Either way, Langley-Eustis, off the start of this one, need to try and clear out their spawn. Again, the subs are being a nuisance. Argo traded on out, and now finally they will do it. You've got the players down. Now let's start to move up the map and start to focus on some of this objective work.
Well, Hate's going to slow down that A attempt, and it's going to set yourself up for another chance at the spawn trap. Yodak's here. He's going to shoot a couple of these players and then back off the spawn. Tantalize. How can you be ready for that? So quick to engage. Wolf's going to go down as well, and that truly is going to be what feels like a dagger for this round. With 35 seconds left, you're fighting against every odd.
Tantalize down for the count. Langley-Eustis, Da Vinci's finally going to come back here and divert some of the attention towards the zone. Cannon, no, getting control of power positions is everything. They had a player up there. Nice shots from Reaper to take Argo out of the play. You lose Da Vinci on the zone, but Reaper can deal with some of these kills after the fact and maybe generate some space for Langley-Eustis. All of these plays have to coalesce together. Yodak expecting Reaper will shut him down. Again, you've got a player on the